You already are that, is the simplest answer. So I'll unpack the how in a minute, but that's the first thing that I want to just say to that, because there is an idea that you are not that, and you're not alone in that idea. Everyone has that idea. But that's the first thing that is most important there, is to not work from the premise that you're not that, but work from the premise you are that. And so to me, from that premise, it is a discovery of what draws you out from that recognition. Those are beliefs, those are ideas, those are false notions and assumptions. What happens is when you naturally sink into this moment, rest into this moment, you feel the totality of existence. Without ideas of me this, I am that, I shouldn't be this, I need to be awakened, I shouldn't, all of that collapses and ceases to be when there is a full resting into what is. So what I look for is what notions and ideas and beliefs pull us out into a conception of what it is that is being experienced here. So that's what I would look for, is to rest into being as you are, and notice if there is something, an idea, a thought, a conception, something that pulls the attention and says, no, but hang about, what about that? I need to be this, I need to awaken to that. All of these ideas actually pull you out of that which you already are.
But you're not suggesting, are you, that I use my mind in order to look at these ideas and use the mind in order to examine the mind?
No, I'm suggesting that resting as you are the totality of consciousness. I am suggesting that there are going to be thoughts, conceptions, beliefs, ideas that arise that say, hang on, no, I'm not, no, I'm this, I'm that. And I'm suggesting to pay attention to those. I'm not saying in the mind, but with awareness, to be aware of those conceptions that arise. Now, yes, we can use the mind to inquire into them, to drop through them back into the totality of beingness that we are. Yes. So we can use the mind in those techniques, but inquiry, we may start out in the mind, but we are drawn back into beingness itself. So it's not an exercise of the mind. It might start out there, maybe, but what I'm suggesting is awareness, to be aware of those notions and those beliefs and those ideas that say, I am not that.
Okay, so rest into awareness and be aware of those ideas. Is that what you're suggesting?
Broadly speaking, yeah.
And how does one rest in awareness?
That is a description of what already is. Again, I'm going to point back to what the first said there. You already are that. One doesn't rest as awareness, one is awareness, but that is the description of what happens when there is no picking up of false notions and ideas that is happening. So what would be more accurate would be not to say how does one rest as awareness, would be more accurate to attend to that which seemingly pulls us into limitation again.
And how does one do that?
By being aware of that. by earnestly and honestly being aware of those thoughts and ideas and beliefs. And they are embodied, they're not just thoughts, there's a felt component to all of this, an energetic, felt, embodied component to all of this. So to attend to that is to bring light to whether that is true or not. So we are already in this moment when the hand is completely released. So all limitations of who and what we think we are is released. I'm just using the hand as an analogy here. When that is released, we are just awareness. We are just, to use another word, we are just God. We are just the self. We are just consciousness. We are any word we want to use here. So to attend to when there is a picking up into a false notion and belief, and that's an embodied one, it's not just a thought, it's embodied, as we said, that I am anything other than that. That will give you an inkling as to where there is truth to be found in untruth. To work from the place of I am that is to continually also return to that recognition. So where there is that belief that I am not that, there's where there's work to do in order to release the hand back to its naturalness of open awareness. So I pay attention to those beliefs, not for the reason that people might think I do, but I pay attention to those because there is where there is unclarity. There is where there is, I say untruth, I mean a temporary truth or provisional truth of experience, but not a fundamental bedrock truth, let's say. So we have to kick the tires of that. We have to sort of test it, see is that true? I say I'm a body, is that true? It sounds like I'm saying that in terms of a question that needs to be answered in the mind. I'm not saying it in that manner. What I mean by that is to pay attention to that, and truth will be revealed through the seeing of it. Am I the body? And it's not a riddle to be solved in the mind. The mind takes that. The mind can be involved in that observation somewhat, but fundamentally it's an observation, it's a recognition.